probably the hottest division right now is the lightweight division, and Devin Haney defended all the marbles, as they say, in the lightweight division when he beat Vasily Lomachenko by unanimous decision. I asked you, how did you score Katie Taylor, Chantel Cameron? I'm going to ask you the same question about Devin Haney, Loma. How did you score this one?
Well, it was 5 a.m. Sunday morning, watching it live on the big screen at home, the 60-inch screen at home.
Boy, you got a 60-inch screen, have you? Jesus.
Well, it's a big old screen, yeah. I mean, of course.
You're living the vida loca.
I'm always living the vida loca. Or is it La Dolce Vita? Probably La Dolce Vita, but a little bit of Dolce Vita thrown in. Look, again, this was a very close fight in which a young fighter against a legend. Devin Haney went to the body as well in this fight, an enormous amount. Because Lomachenko took away his jab, but he was clever enough to go to the body. I scored it 115, 113 to Devin Haney, but I could easily have scored it a draw or easily 7 rounds to 5 for Lomachenko. There were 2 or 3 very close rounds in there.
Yeah.
It wasn't the easiest fight to score. Lomachenko came on very strong at the end, and I thought he was good early as well. Devin was good in the middle. It was a high-class, elite fight between 2 great proponents. It wasn't a robbery. It was just a very, very close fight. And Devin Haney got the nod. The one card, obviously it was 115, 113 twice, but the one card I didn't agree with, and particularly, was Dave Moretti's 116, 112, Addy, because he scored the 10th round for Devin Haney, and that was clearly one of Lomachenko's strongest rounds. So that was a bit odd. Yeah. But if you take that away, it still makes it 115, 113 to Haney, who did something right. The key is it was close enough that I think we ought to see that fight again.
That's the key. Yeah, I think that's a great way to kind of end what you're saying there. I think we need to see a rematch. I thought it was really close. Like, going into the fight, I was like, does Loma still have that magic? Can he compete against these young, bigger, stronger lions? And he proved that he can still compete at 35. I had it 7-5 Loma, but like you, it wasn't a robbery. I'm a Loma fan, so maybe the close rounds, I just swing to Loma because I want him to win.
I wanted him to win, by the way. My heart said Loma, my head said Haney.
Yes.
And I can understand the outbursts from people, the emotion about wanting him to win, about the poetic justice of a man whose homeland is at war with Russia wrongly, who served in their military, who carries so many great values, who got pushed at the weigh-in, whose brilliance was on display. The matrix was there. He was coming in and pirouetting out of punches, and his movement, his crab-like movement, was brilliant on the night. He had the more telling punches towards the end of the fight when he was rocking Devin Haney's head back. But there's a difference. Again, watching the generality of the fight, it looked like Loma had won it. But when you score it round by round, it sometimes comes out 7-5 one way or the other is minute in boxing. That's what people have to realise. You know? 7-5, 6-6, 7-5 the other way. It's such a close thing.
It's so close. It's ridiculously close. I was surprised with. There's been like an outcry. Obviously, a lot of people have screamed robbery, which is ridiculous. Like, it wasn't a robbery. But I've been surprised with most boxers who were there. All of them seem to have said Loma. All of them. I don't know if there's this hate for Devin Haney. I'm not quite sure what it is. I don't know if Devin Haney has said something, and the boxing aficionados don't really appreciate or like it, but a lot of them seem to go to Loma, which is why if you're Devin waking up Monday morning, I think you're thinking, let's run it back. Let me show you. Let's run it back because you think he beat me. I'll prove he didn't. Let's do this again in September.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can pluck out Floyd Mayweather here, and that's who he wants to be. He wants to be a modern Floyd Mayweather, as Shaka Stevenson wants to be, as Tank Davis wants to be. You know, they want to go 50-odd fights unbeaten if they can get to 50. But in his most difficult fights, say the Marcos Maidana fight, where he had a terrible first 6 rounds and he was trapped on the ropes, he fought him again, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then the second time, he completely outboxed him.
Yeah.
I think
Castillo.
Jose Luis Castillo. The thing is, when Devin Haney fought George Kambosos twice and looked better the second fight, they're both with the same promoter. With Top Rank. There's nothing wrong with those two fighting. Again, I think it's a fantastic thing to do, and it will show Devin's appetite to show that he really wants to prove that he's one of the best out there.
Agreed. If Devin can't get the Shakur Stevenson fight next, or Shakur, who's chasing Devin, to be fair, can't get it next, then, and he's not going to get Tank, that's not going to happen now. I understand how this boxing game works. Then yeah, Loma. It's a big fight as well, and it'll do good numbers. I think the first one done big numbers. I think the appetite now for it again is it's gonna work well for both of them. They'll get more money. It could go into a bigger arena. This one was at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. They could go to the T-Mobile for.
But the MGM for me has all the old romance.
It's got the
of
history.
The great
I
fights,
agree.
You know?
You are correct.
I think it's a better arena. I love it. I absolutely love it.
No, it is, isn't it? In terms of just numbers, though, obviously the bigger ones, the T-Mobile Arena is 4,000 or 5,000 more, I believe. So you could go there again. Final one on this. Devin Haney is obviously the undisputed champ in the lightweight division. Because of what you saw, because you've seen Gervonta now, you've seen Shakur, do you still believe that Devin's the number one in the division, though?
No, I don't. And also, by the way, if they can't do Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson next, let's do Shakur Stevenson and Shakur, as people are asking me to say, Shakur Stevenson and Vasyl Lomachenko. Because that's a fantastic fight. For me, Shakur Stevenson beats both of those guys. Yeah. He beats Loma and he beats Devin Haney. And I loved him in the ring afterwards. I think it was a great moment. As Devin said, I'm number one. And as Shakur replied, for now you are.
Just for now. For now. I like it. They don't normally do that, do they? Especially not over here. They don't normally, if a fight's not signed or made, they don't just bring, and look, Shakur's not a nobody, but they don't just bring someone in the ring.
But he's top rank as well, isn't he? Then that's what's great. They can make the fight easily.
Yeah,
you know?
No, agreed. Should be fantastic lightweight division in the next couple of years if they all stay there. If not, they're all going to be at 140 anyway and meet there.